Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Gamers Thoughts discussion. And this time I'm going to be talking about the video game awards themselves, where I will be giving my actual criticisms of the video game awards. Now, it has been known that Jay and I and several others from the Winging It crew have done annual roast sessions of the VGAs. And it's not because of some sort of hate for it. It's just that there's too much funny stuff and stupid things that go on with the video game awards. Now, I will give credit where credit is due. Jeff Keighley puts a lot of work into the video game awards. So, no one's going to be mad at him for wanting to put on a big spectacle of a show. I don't think that that is a problem. I actually think that that's a good thing. The problem comes where the VGAs don't really have a foothold in on a mainstream platform. Now G4 has returned. G4 is back. Why not do some sort of partnership with G4 for the video game awards? Not saying that everybody loved or liked G4 TV or whatever back in the day, but it was definitely a hub for gaming. So, utilizing that logic, if you're not going to have it on Spike, which it originally started on, it should be on G4. Secondly, the award show is too long. It's way too long. And that's including the pre-show. It's very long. Unreasonably long. There's a lot of fluff. I think that they want to cram so much into it, but they don't really know what they should prioritize and what they shouldn't, which is a major problem. So that needs to be organized. They need someone with a decent set of organizational skills to work over the VGAs to help them sort it out. I would offer my assistance, but I doubt that Jeff Keighley would want me to work for him. And I would be making fun of him on the job, so he probably wouldn't like me. Not that I would care, but still. If he don't like me, he wouldn't want to be around me. Just saying. That's another thing. So get the time worked on and figure out how to organize your awards and listings. Also, if you're going to have a crap ton of advertisements in there, anyway, again, back to the first thing, it probably should be on some sort of mainstream network so that other people can see it. Hey, maybe even if you don't work with G4, see if you can work out some sort of deal with Hulu, Paramount Plus, or Netflix, something. See if you can work out something with some sort of streaming platform besides YouTube and Twitch. Because you got to have something that's in the mainstream that'll just catch people's eye. And I think Hulu would probably be a good place because they might be flexible on it. But again, you got to reach out for that. And I know you want to draw in a lot of potential, and this may seem counterintuitive to my last point. I know you want to draw in a lot of attention with celebrities and people that are well known in mainstream media. They are not important to gamers. I mean, there's a few of them out there, like maybe Kenny Omega, like Snoop Dogg, and various other people that we know enjoy video games that'll jump in and be interested. Those celebrities I'm all for, but getting Vin Diesel, no. And even when it comes down to your musical acts, like one or two big musical acts that are mainstream, fine. But after that, why not lean back onto the content creators that are on YouTube and other social media platforms like TikTok and Twitch, and even some that are on BitChute. I guess people forget that BitChute is a thing. Why not hit people on those platforms? Some of the talented creators on those platforms to see if they would like to be included in VGAs and do a show. Especially with nerd rap. I'm sorry, nerd rap is good. Especially for the anime and the video game raps. Bro, no, you've got to reach out to some of them that are nerdcore. You've got to reach out to some of them. Because I am very certain that they would be happy to pause their tours to do songs. Or maybe even some of the lesser knowns that are still just like, regular music, but music that would be appropriate for a video game audience. It serves two purposes. One, it gives these guys more exposure. Two, they are much cheaper than your very large celebrities. And three, they are far more ingrained in geek culture than a lot of these A-list celebrities that you guys are trying to pull. So it stands to reason to use people who are more wrapped up into this culturally than people who are not. Again, not saying that many of the A-list celebrities aren't interested in geek culture and stuff like that, but there are some people who just, when you hear them talk and what they're into, where their leaning is. And putting those people out in front of the crowd for the VGAs would only work to enhance what you're doing. A lot of people don't understand it. Like, okay, I will say utilizing video game advertising through a video game award show, it's on the nose, but maybe in a negative way. But utilizing content creators to make content for your large scale geek show would be a positive boon. Because they're all geeks. Maybe not all of them, but most of them. So you can skip over people like Joel McHale and not ever have them grace the mic on the VGAs again. Please. Not a personal thing against Joel McHale. I don't like his comedy, and he's very to me. And he just didn't fit. Another major issue with the Game Awards, your choice for games by a committee of people who work for the companies of the games that are being nominated. That is a problem. It's mostly just, it makes it look bad. It makes it look very bad. Because then you got to take into account, we all know that these awards, they're all for popularity. We know that. And the more awards the game gets, the more likely it is to be on the minds of people who aren't super ingratiated in the gaming industry. Again, this is all known. Not hard to understand. So it stands to reason that having the people who work at the companies for the games that are being nominated be the committee that decides on the games and votes for the games to win the categories looks bad. Because they have something to gain from which game does the best. That's a problem. And that's also why we see so many games, so many of the same games nominated a lot of times. Outside of the discussion that I did prior to this, where there's just too many games that span across, there are games that just span across too many genres. The thing is, if they work for the company putting the game out, they have a benefit from the game getting an award. Like Game of the Year, Best Action Adventure, Best Musical Score. They get incentives from this. Whether those incentives are bonuses from the company or the incentive of, hey, this game got this award, is more popular here. Now we'll have more people interested in purchasing it. There's an incentive for them. You need a third-party committee, whether that be a mixed bag of people or even just, gamers and content creators that have no allegiance to any specific company. And I mean that they're not on their payroll. Everybody has their fan base that they're a major part of or more interested in. But at least if they're not on a specific company's payroll, there is more of a reason that they will try to be as fair as possible outside of their biases. And before anybody says anything, everyone has biases. It just depends on how you manage them. I typically try to manage my biases from a more balanced perspective. Sometimes that don't work out. But just in general, it would be a better look for the VGAs rather than, say, having Doug Bowser or Kojima or Phil Spencer or anyone from Sony on the board to decide anything as far as the games are concerned. Their vote should be no more important than any other person just making a regular vote. Also, and I don't know if you guys fixed this year or not, I didn't really look into it, but your fan votes should be more important than the committee votes, because there are a lot more fans than there are committee members. Now, the committee members should be able to nominate games and have them set up and put up for the show, but their vote should not be more important than the fan vote. That is a problem if you guys have not fixed it. The committee vote being more powerful than the fan vote, on top of the committee being able to decide which games are nominated, and on top of the fact that the committee members work for the companies of the nominated games, again, being incentivized, is a horrible look, which is why it was criticized last year, and it will continue to be criticized until it is changed if it has not been. And that's something that needs to be considered and thought about when it comes down to these award shows. So, I mean, those are the things that I think could be improved with the VGAs. There's bound to be far more, but I think that these are the bigger, more major issues that could be dealt with that would help improve the experience of the VGAs, and on top of that, probably make it cheaper to produce them and get more people interested. So it would cost less to produce them, you would make more money back off of it, and it would also be more, it would be treated with more validity. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I mean, there's other things I would like to talk about, but again, I just wanted to cover the things that I think were more major. So, thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out, everybody.